So it's indeed our pleasure to have the global leading holistic health guru and corporate life coach, Dr. Vicky Mehta, with the humongous energy in the house. Thank you so much for joining with us, sir.
Humongous, you haven't seen the best yet.
Let's see where this goes then.
Absolutely.
I'll start with the first question, sir. Why is India the best destination for holistic healing and wellness?
Civilization started in East. So obviously, India got enlightened first. India is a place where seers are born, the Rishi Munis are born. India is a place where the first university of the world was born. India understood the essence of elements. India understood the oneness of the divine nature and the characteristic of what we call God first.
Right.
And India's wisdom, traditional cultures has really opened up opportunities for people to know that India is the seat of spirituality. Even if you see the topography and the demography of India, as per the Vastu of India, let's say, speaking the spiritual language, it's very conducive for opening up of the mind.
Mhm.
So you go to Rishikesh, you go to Gangotri, you go to Himalayas. Tibet was a part of India first. And you go to places where Gautama Buddha was born and Bodhidharma. So if you look at actual sages and even before that, the wanderers who transformed and transcended into embodiments of purity and divinity, they're all from India. So they further charged up the demography of India. And the footprints that they left on the banks of time has enriched India more. So the roots are growing and growing and growing. It's not a wonder when the Beatles came to India for spirituality. It's not a wonder from everywhere in the world people recognized India. And when they had questions which couldn't be answered, they came to India. And everyone in the world, even scientists, I'm told, very quietly, incognito, came for this journey to India and understood. I understand that it's told that even Christ, the 20 years of his missing life, he was probably in India.
Right.
Some say he was in Kashmir, some say he was in Bihar. But all maximum growth of evolution, India has something inside in its rivers, in its air, in its mountain peaks, in its valleys, in the kind of flowers, in the kind of trees, in the kind of the species of the human beings and the animals. The diversity of life is in India. So India is very vibrant, very, very radiant. And India is very close to my heart. मेरा भारत महान और भारत है इस विश्व की शान. And most importantly, as the initial seers and the Rishi Munis started evolving, started meditating, started chanting, they further strengthened the spiritual pillars of India. They further ring-fenced India. They further completely charged India with a lot of spiritual vibrance and radiance. If you see the kings of India versus the kings of the world,
Mhm.
most of the kings in India, if you go back in history, were so enlightened. Because every king had a spiritual guru. Look back in life into Mahabharata, Ramayana. They had great gurus, Dronacharya. They had great gurus, Krishna. They had great sages. So, India naturally is spiritualized, revolutionized, and India is Mickey-mized.
Since we're talking about energy, sir, I would really love to know, how did you get involved in holistic healing?
38 years back in my career, not in my life, I'm 58, but 38 years back in my career, I used to be all into prayer and I wouldn't say meditation, I didn't know what meditation was, but literally prayers for sure. So, coming from the community of Zoroastrians, the fire worshippers. Why fire? Because fire is symbolic of heat, symbolic of sun, the giver of life, heat, the genesis of life, which is why. We are not pagans otherwise. The first monotheistic religion,
Okay.
which believes in the oneness of the divine spirituality.
Mhm.
In fact, our religion professes the epistemological humility, which means the wonderment of creativity. Where does it all come from? It's so wonderful. Everything is so miraculous. How do the flowers smell so good? How does the coconut water so sweet climb up 200 feet up? You know, and how do animals are so docile and domestic? Most of them. Why human beings are so warm, compassionate, loving, forgiving, benevolent, creative, philanthropic, compassionate, visionary? So, our religion realized the potential of the collective consciousness, which is why, in other terms, we call that divine light. It's not the light which actually emanates out of sun. It's the light within,
Right.
which makes you see everything in appropriate light, appropriate perspective. So it gives you a vision, not a sight.
Mhm.
And it's also step-by-step growth and evolution of mankind. So as you walk, you can keep seeing different horizons. So as you walk the path of any true religion or spirituality, you keep seeing different horizons. And you keep seeing more and more. The best part of spiritual journey or spiritual tourism is the journey is inward. And in this internal journey, when you sit calmly and meditate, you actually don't go anywhere. You just settle where you are. So this safar is a safar of settlement, and the other safar, the travel, is a suffering. But before you get onto any spiritual path or tourism, of going to pilgrimages, which is good, one must do an adhyatmik snan, a spiritual bath. A spiritual bath which comes out of meditation, it comes out of orientation, it comes about with collecting yourself, composing yourself, tranquilizing yourself with opiates from within.
Mhm.
And trying to disconnect with the material world and connect with the realm of the unseen, invisible energy of the ultimate. Not just the procreation of mankind, but the creativity by large. So what we call Bhagwan probably is the embodiment of such an energy, and what we call Ishwar is probably the source of that embodiment. And the sadhu and sants and all these purified people are epicenters of the same, wherever they are. So my journey started 38 years back, and I'm still traveling. I have not yet learned completely to settle down, but I'm on the path.
I'm sure you are. So, thank you so very much for your time, Dr. Mehta. It's been an enlightening chat with you. Thank
That's
you.
it.
That's it.
Only 2 questions. So I hope every human being gets energized, gets maximized, gets optimized, gets internalized, gets eternalized to get Mickey-mized.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Mehta for you. Thank you so much.